say is your excuses just gave someone else the opportunity. Maybe run that one back.
Welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Miss Introspective, and today I'm coming to you today with a compilation of a few videos for anyone that's wanting to have an amazing glow up in their life, looking for some advice or looking for some tips. This is the best video for you to watch. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. I'll see you soon.
You want to know what is like the most daring and audacious thing that you can do when you're in your early 20s? Legitimately tuning out the noise and locking in on yourself. And I say this with care, but if you are going through one of those moments where you are wondering why you are not where you want to be, or you feel stuck, or you feel stagnant, the best thing that you can do for yourself is reinvest in your self-preservation and your elevation. I need you to cut out the noise. We don't need to be listening to these think pieces on Twitter where you should be right now at 23 years old, you should be spending your 20s to live life, or how you should be spending your 20s to save and plan for the future. I want you to understand that the moment that you realize that your pathway in life is completely contingent upon what your needs are and the vision that you have for your success and where you want to be in the future, it's the moment that you will stop running this rat race of comparison. Everybody out here is still figuring it out. Contrary to popular belief, even those people that you are looking up to when you're seeing what they're doing and it's making you feel insecure about yourself are still just winging it. Don't forget that the tortoise literally won the race against the hare. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Just because you are not where you want to be right now does not mean that you'll never get there. But what you do need to take into account is that the only thing that is standing in the way of you getting to where you need to be is yourself. Take ownership, take accountability, and put the effort back into yourself. Invest in yourself. Sponsor yourself.
I'm not going to cry when I say this, but 3 things that I'm begging you to prioritize before you turn 30. Number 1, your mental health, please. Everybody talks about your frontal lobe developing in such a positive light, but nobody talks about how much self-awareness actually kind of makes you depressed. Baby, I see why our mothers just wanted us to take the damn fridge out the freezer. The meat out the freezer. And number 2, this is going to sound vain as hell, but please prioritize looking good. In my early 20s, I can get away with looking like a 10-year-old boy every day. But now I'm about to be 30, and I put a little more effort into how I look. Because getting older and letting yourself go is a myth, sis. I am just now finding myself, and I'm going to look good while doing it. And number 3, watering the relationships that water you. Hear me out. I've been a loner for literally my entire 20s, for the most part. And now that I'm entering my 30s, I'm definitely prioritizing community. Because even though being lonely is kind of cool, and I love being by myself, leave me the fuck alone. I need people.
Just don't tell anyone anything in your 20s and 30s. I always get a hard time for saying that, but it's just something that I go by. A lot of people are praying, wishing on your downfall, especially in your 20s and 30s. Perhaps because during these 2 decades, you really learn the skills on how to filter out people, how to filter out who's coming in, who's coming out. Are they worthy enough to stay? Do I want to be around this type of person, these type of people? Because you're building things, you're succeeding at things, maybe you're failing at things. So you have this high and low energies that are continuously in your life in these 2 decades, that there's a lot of eyes on you. Your success and your life and your goals are just too valuable to share with everyone, to give them a sneak peek of what you're desiring. And this was very hard for me in the beginning because I guess being raised in the States, living your whole life in the States, you get kind of desensitized to oversharing, and being mysterious just feels better, just feels more satisfying.
If you are in your 20s and you feel miserable, lost, or stuck, this video is for you. As someone in their early 30s, if I could go back in time, I would tell my 20-something-year-old self to relinquish control and do not time box yourself. Because I remember my early 20s, I was miserable because I needed to get out of college and find a job. And then my later 20s, I was miserable because I needed a better job that paid better. And then I needed to also find a husband. And I just kept attracting miserable situations, miserable men that sucked, and then miserable jobs that made me feel worse about myself. And now as someone in my 30s, I'm so happy and I'm so abundant. And when I look abundant, and then that sounds so weird. And when I look back at my pictures in my 20s, I'm realizing, oh my gosh, I'm actually hotter now. I'm attracting better men now. I'm attracting greater opportunities now. I'm making triple what I used to make back in my 20s. Like, why did I stress out so much in my 20s? Because when I look back at my 20s in that decade, I don't think happy thoughts. I think, oh my God, that was the worst era of my life. And for you, it doesn't have to be. I'm telling you, as someone someone who's out of their 20s, your 20s doesn't have to be miserable if you stop time boxing yourself and give yourself the chance to just go with the flow. Let life carry you through different seasons, because I know that when I turn 40, I'm going to look back at my 30s and think, dang, Irene, you did a hell of a job living it up and living your life to the best of your ability and not being so stressed out about all these different things that society tells you to be stressed out about. You don't need to be stressed in your 20s. You are literally still a baby. Enjoy life. Make mistakes. Go have fun. Live. Like, that's what your 20s are supposed to be about. Do not stay at home scrolling on TikTok and feeling worse about yourself. Go out, make friends, break hearts, get heartbroken, figure yourself out, learn about yourself, realize the things that you're good at, and find jobs that like you excel out. And if you're not good at it, then go find another job. Like, explore, discover. That's what your 20s are about. I promise you, because once you turn 30s and get into your 30s, life will unfold in a way that you could have never imagined. I promise, okay? Good night.
Things I wish I knew in my early 20s. The higher the man's tax bracket, the more likely he's going to cheat. When men reach a certain amount of money and they can get whatever they want, they'll do some crazy shit. Don't throw yourself into a relationship young. Learn to take care of yourself first. Also, just be alone for a bit. Learn how to identify narcissistic people and stay the hell away from them. They are super toxic and will literally steal your soul. Don't waste your time on someone who doesn't value you. Obvious one, but don't waste your money on stupid shit. Even if you've got money, live like you're broke. Take care of yourself like you would take care of the younger version of yourself. Before you do something, think like, would I do this to the younger version of myself?
I'm 25 now, and if I could go back and talk to my like 21, 22-year-old self, I would tell her, like, girl, life is so much peaceful. It's more peaceful when you don't pick up the phone and call somebody every time something bad happens in your life, every time something goes wrong, every time somebody do you wrong, every time a nigga do you wrong. You don't always got to pick up the phone and call somebody and talk to them. Your business should not be tea. You know what I'm saying? Like, only person that you need to be talking to is yourself and God.
Some things I would never do again as a 33-year-old woman. I'm talking to all my young girlies out there, okay? I am your big sister. I am your aunt. Listen to me. Number one, I will never live with a man again before marrying him. And the reason behind that is because why would he need to commit to you when he already has a wife? He has a wife, no government paper. Okay, girl? Absolutely not. Secure that government contract saying that you get half of everything, because you moving into his home, it's still his home. Number two, staying friends with girlfriends just for the sake of having 20 people at my birthday dinner, absolutely the fuck not. If we have a problem, I'm addressing it right now. If we can't work it out, we need to go our own ways. Number three, this one's going to be really controversial, is getting married in my 20s, okay? I was 23 years old when I met my ex-husband. I was 30 when we divorced, and I gave him my entire 20s, and I'll never get it back. And you have the rest of your life to be older. You have the rest of your life to play house. Don't do it while you're young and capable. Be fun. Go out, travel, experience new things, okay?
Young ladies, be smart in your 20s, because what happens in your 20s set the tone for your 30s, but it starts in your 20s. And yes, I know in your 20s it's about having fun, living carefree, and living your best life. But remember, you're not going to be in your 20s forever. So be smart about the decisions that you make in your 20s so it doesn't affect you in your 30s. Be smart. Be fabulous. Be smart and be fabulous. And that is today's Love Note. Enjoy your day, Net Nation.
Okay, so this is going to be a big sister girl talk. If you're a girl from the ages of 18 to 29, listen up, because what I have to say is very important. A big sign of self-growth, maturity, self-love, and self-development is no longer having your emotions dictate your actions. You are not going to feel like breaking off toxic relationships. You are not going to feel like walking away from toxic people. You are not going to feel like leaving certain situations. But the highest form of self-love is loving yourself enough to cut anyone off behind you. Loving yourself enough to leave anything that is no longer serving you. Loving yourself enough to leave anyone who is treating you like you are less than your worth alone. When you no longer let your emotions dictate your actions, and you can say, okay, this may hurt in the moment, but it's for the betterment of my life. It's for the betterment of my future self. That is when you know that you have reached emotional maturity. a form of self-love at its highest.
One thing I learned a little bit too late is happiness begins with you. When we chase happiness, we attach it to something. So if we get this job, if we get this man, this family, this home, this money, this life, then we'll be happy. That's the worst thing you can ever do to yourself as a human being. True happiness started for me when I learned to be grateful for what I have. The position I am currently in life, my health, the things I can afford, the little things I can afford. I have at least a place to lay my head. At least I have a life I can call my own. I'm not struggling to breathe. I am happy. You know what happens when you start to live life from this angle? Everything that you wanted, they come easily to you because you're not stressing over it. Yes, you know that you'll get there, but you're grateful for each step along the way.
What would be one of the most important advice you give to women in my age is guard your womb, guard your heart, and guard your body. When you give away your body, you can never get it back. You give away your heart, it can control your whole life. You give away your heart to the wrong person, it will control your whole life. And if you give away your womb to the wrong man, you'll be attached to that man for the rest of your life in the name of baby mama. I'm telling you, you are exactly what a man wants. With your boundaries, your strict rules and boundaries and your values and everything in your life, you are exactly what a man with emotional intelligence, intellectual, with brain would want in their life. There is no rush for that marriage to please society. There is no rush to bring that baby in this life to please society. As a woman, you are always going to be the primary caregiver of that child you held in your uterus for 9 months and you birth. You know, birthing a child, the complications that happen in birthing a child, that in 2024 with all our technology and how far we've come in society, women are still dying of childbirth. And when that child comes and the man decides that you are not who he wants and he goes, you'll be left carrying the baby. Kids are hard work. Kids are not blessing. They are hard work, they are responsibilities, and they are expensive. And you can't cry your way out of it. So, the 3 things you need to guard: your heart, your body, and your womb. And I guarantee you, the right man will come along and it will all make sense. It will all be worth it. You will thank me. Save this video and thank me later.
Get unready with me while I give advice for girls in their 20s from another girl in her 20s. Before I start, because I know you're gonna ask, I'm using the Garnier Erase It All Cleansing Balm to take my makeup off. I really love this because it just takes your eye and face makeup off so easily, and you can also use it as a face mask. And thank you, Garnier, for partnering with me. Number 1, wear sunscreen every day. I know you've heard it a million times, but it's so necessary. If a guy really likes you, you'll know. And if he doesn't, you'll be confused. You need to find at least one activity that keeps your body active, whether it's going for a walk, going to the gym, yoga, Pilates. Start now while you're young. Prioritize your relationship with your girlfriends just as much as you prioritize your relationship with that man. Sisterhood is important. And I look like the peanut butter baby. You're gonna make lots of mistakes in your 20s. Embrace them, but try not to repeat them. Learn to leave any situation that you are not happy in. Leave that man, leave that job, leave that friend, leave that party. You don't have to be there if you're not happy. Take your time getting to know people. This goes for romantic and platonic because a lot of the situations we find ourselves in could be totally avoidable if we took our time to carefully vet people out. Being jealous of other girls is completely useless because you will never be her and she will never be you. Other women are not your competition. Bye, Stinky.
And we're back for our highly anticipated list of things I should have known in my 20s, part 2. Like before, these are going to be listed in no particular order. And some of these apply to me, some of them don't. It's for me to know, for you to never know. Okay. Travel by yourself. Book that plane ticket. Okay. Go to that restaurant. Go see that show. Go to that concert. Go to that movie. Whatever you want to do, go do it. Don't wait on nobody. You'll be waiting in vain. Go ahead. Okay. Second one. Don't move in with that man, and don't let that man move in with you. Keep your independence as long as possible. Trust me, do not do it. I know there's a lot of women right now that are about to get their keyboard warrior on because they're misexception to the rule, and the one-off warriors, or they're currently doing it, and they're like, no, it's working out. I'm trying to save lives. Shut up. It's not about you. Don't move in with that man, and don't let that man move in with you. Keep your independence. Stay where you're at. Get a roommate. You have plenty of years to clean toothpaste off the mirror. Don't do it. Do not drink and drive. First of all, you shouldn't be getting drunk in public, and you shouldn't be getting drunk anywhere where you don't feel comfortable staying. There's Uber, there's Lyft. I don't care if you've had a shot or two. If you had them in the last 2 hours, depending on your weight, do not drive after drinking. Don't do it. You could either hurt yourself, someone else, or end up in jail. Trust me. Number 4, he's not that busy. He's not going through anything. He didn't see your text just now. He does not like you. That man does not like you. That man does not like you. That man does not like you. Who's not interested. And there's nothing that's going to make him interested. Stop texting him. Leave him alone. Move on. Move around, girl. Find you somebody that likes you. Okay? You shouldn't even be attracted to somebody that doesn't like you. But most people are. But anyway, I have more. But I'm going to go easy on y'all tonight. Okay?
So when people think about living their best life and what that might look like, they probably think about all the extravagant highs. Traveling the world, buying that dream house, achieving something crazy and exciting. And sure, those moments are great, and I think you should have big goals for yourself. But they're not what your life is made of. Your life isn't made up of Instagram-worthy moments or highlight reels. They're made up of Tuesdays. Regular, ordinary, nobody posts about this Tuesdays. The kind of days that will happen thousands of times in your life. So instead of asking yourself, what does your dream vacation look like? Ask yourself, what does your perfect Tuesday look like? How do you want to feel when you wake up? What kind of work do you want to do that will energize you? Who do you want to be around at the dinner table? What small moments will make you go to bed feeling content? Because those Tuesdays, those regular old Tuesdays, will become your weeks, and your weeks turn into months, and your months will turn into years, and suddenly those years will become your life. So the secret to an extraordinary life isn't in chasing the highs. It's in designing your ordinary days to be so good that you don't need to escape from them. So stop waiting for those big moments to live your best life. Start with next Tuesday instead.
Let's talk about the 20 things I wish I knew while I was surviving my 20s. Sometimes he wants you because you're convenient, not because you're irreplaceable. You can stay hoping that your life will change, or you can start moving towards that change. It's not your responsibility to teach people how to not hurt you, but it is your responsibility to walk away from those that do. Giving him the best version of you doesn't guarantee that you'll get the best version of him. The only thing more difficult than accepting yourself as you are is trying to be someone you're not. Farts are funny. Don't ask for closure from the man who opened the wound in the first place. She's not your friend if every time you're with her she needs to compete with you in order to coexist with you. Tomorrow turns into yesterday if we do not capitalize on today. Blood is not always thicker than water. You can make the family you want if you weren't given the family you needed. He didn't change, you just got to know him. The only man who wants you to settle for less is the one who is unable to give you more. Less friends or no friends is always a better choice than fake friends. Life doesn't need to be fair in order to be beautiful. Even if you were given the short end of the stick, who said you needed a lame-ass stick to do something great anyways? The loneliest you will ever feel is feeling unseen in a relationship. Don't dim your light so someone else can feel like theirs is brighter. Judge a man not by his words but by his actions towards those who can do nothing for him. Freedom comes from knowing someone is judging you for what you do and then doing it anyways. Staying with a good guy, even if he isn't the right guy, makes you the bad guy. There's no honor in being with a man simply because you don't have the courage to leave. If he leaves you for a girl with a podcast, go produce your own podcast. Biddy is my podcast. Brutally Anna drops today, October 28th, everywhere you get your podcasts. Comment, subscribe, like, download, and just remember that some of the best things in your life will come from your relationships with the worst men.
Boy advice I wish I knew before my 20s. You should not date until you have learned to fully decenter men, which usually takes a period of time of not dating. Men are better at knowing when relationships aren't going to work. Women are good at lying to ourselves about a dynamic being better than it is. If he's acting like he doesn't think you guys would make a good couple, he's right. Never involve yourself in a situationship. Second you're ready to date is when you should date. Only one person ever calls it a situationship. Everything he says about his ex is true about him. Likewise, how he left his ex is how he will leave you. If you have not had a conversation about exclusivity yet, Both of you are allowed to see whoever you want. Never convince yourself to like someone because you think they'll be a good partner. You can find someone you connect with, you're attracted to, and is a good person. Make a list of 5 things you like about him, excluding anything about your relationship, like he makes me laugh, we have a lot of fun, just qualities of him as a person. Most people can't name 5. Your guy friend should treat you just as well as you want your boyfriend to treat you. You will not pick the right boyfriends if you can't pick the right guy friends.
I saw a post on Instagram that said, "Sorry, I couldn't get financially stable in my 20s. I was too busy learning not to hate myself." And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is that self-acceptance and learning to actually like yourself is a financial skill. Self-hatred, self-loathing, self-criticism is wildly expensive. I see it all day, every day inside of my community. My page and my community is all about helping women stop impulse shopping, overspending, and getting out of the debt that's been a result of all of that impulse shopping and overspending. And I would say not in all cases, but in a lot of cases, when we start peeling back the layers of the onion and uncovering the cause of all of that overspending and the resulting debt, usually it boils down to some version of, I don't like myself, I hate myself, I view myself as a project that needs to be fixed. I need to fix my face, I need to fix my hair, I need to fix my body, I need to fix my home, I need to fix my children, I need to fix every single aspect of my life so that I can change myself into this version that I think I need to get myself to so that I can then finally accept myself and finally love myself. And so what a lot of people don't realize is like self-acceptance is a financial skill that will pay dividends over and over and over. Not that any of us are ever taught budgeting or getting out of debt or investing, even though we should. That's another video. But along with that, another skill that needs to be taught in conjunction with all of the roadmaps and the plans and the numbers and the black and the white is the internal stuff that is driving the choices that you make with money, and that is driving the spending decisions that you make. Like, do you actually like yourself? Do you accept yourself? Or do you view yourself again as this project, as inherently wrong, as broken, and you trying to go out and use stuff and spending and consumption as a solution for that self-hatred? Because I'm here to tell you it's never going to work, and it's not a solution. So if all you do in your 20s, if you heard that or if you saw that video, and literally all you do in your 20s, all you focus on is just getting yourself to a point where you actually like yourself, I promise you that alone will pay financial dividends over and over and over, more than pretty much any other investment you could ever make with your money.
Things I wish somebody would have told me in my early 20s. I will be labeling these in no order and with little to no explanation, okay? Get in the gym. Start working out. I don't care how skinny you are, how big you are, what you look like now. If you don't work out, it's going to get worse, sir. Get in the gym. Stay out of them drive-thrus as much as possible. Now I should say, stay off of DoorDash, okay? It's not worth it. Cook. Eat whole foods. Eat as clean as you possibly can. And we'll catch up with you. Don't give no man no money. None. Not a dime. Don't let him borrow. Don't let him hold. Don't help him out at all. Okay? Don't go on no trips with somebody you don't know. Don't go on no trips with no friend of a friend. No friend's cousin. Don't go on no trip with nobody you don't know. Please don't. You're going to waste your time, your money, your energy. Get to know them. Make sure everybody, you know everybody in the group. Make sure you know everybody in the group. And please, let me add this in. There's one on here. Don't go nowhere with more than 4 people. And if it's 4, that's a lot of people. If it's 3 other people and it's 4 of y'all and it's 3 others, know all of them. If you don't know them, do not go. Pay them credit cards off. Pay them full. Like you said, I'm gonna book it on here. Then when I get paid, I'm gonna pay it. Give them people their money back. If you don't, it's just gonna pile up. Pay them people their money back. Get in the habit of it. Damn, I wish I knew that. Stay away from jealous friends. Even if they're jealous of other people, they don't come off jealous of you, but they say little shit about other people. Stay away from them. Don't be with nobody with no motion. Don't date nobody that ain't got nothing going for themselves. It's different if he in school and he's going to be somebody. That's different. If he got some motion, you could tell he got some hustle by himself. Go ahead, but don't date nobody without no motion. Potential. Use your discernment with the potential too. Okay, because he got potential. Not every man has potential. You know, if he got motion, he got potential. Okay, and if you ain't got no motion going on, get some. You shouldn't be dating. Okay, because no man is gonna do for you what you can't do for yourself. Okay, all right. That's it. I'll let y'all know if I got some more.
Things I had to learn the hard way that I want y'all to learn the soft way. So I'm in my 30s, my early 30s, and these are things that I wish I would have knew in my 20s, but I had to learn the hard way. People pleasing. It hurts you and it helps others. I have it written down because it's a lot. So people pleasing. It hurts you and helps others. If you don't speak up for yourself, the world will walk over you, and it will create animosity with the people in your life. And you'll have to deal with that one day. If you're dating a guy and you find out he's dealing with someone else, and you look at her and you just be like, how did we get the same nigga? What do me and her have in common? It doesn't appear that we have anything in common. Y'all got something in common. And what y'all probably got in common is y'all both don't love yourselves, and y'all just express it in different ways. Take care of your health and your body. Weight is harder to lose once you hit them 30s. Get them habits down now. You're going to regret it later if you don't. Stop caring what people think. Caring what people think, it don't ever pay off. Ever. Never. Ever. You will end up living a life that is not yours, and that is just strictly to please other people, and there's no fun in that. When it comes to family, if you wouldn't be their friend, it's okay to cut them off. If you look at your family members and say, oh, would I be your friend if you wasn't my family? And the answer is no. It's okay to just move forward, you know? Next, don't ever give a man money, ever. Judge a man's ability to lead by how you see him leading his own life. Would you switch lives with him? Would you switch places with him? If the answer is no, then baby, he should not be leading you. It's okay to not want what everybody else wants. Whether it's a 9-to-5, whether it's kids, what else I write down? Hold on, y'all. Everything that society tells a woman that she should want, if you decide you don't want that, it's okay. And you don't have to explain anything to anybody, because can't nobody live your life for you but you. Regularly evaluate your relationships with everybody in your life. It will help you avoid fallouts, backdoors, and not growing. Regularly ask yourself, is this relationship hindering me or hurting me? Is this relationship hindering them or hurting them? And if the answer is yes, then you need to cut it off. And you should do that about every 6 months. Don't let anybody tell you what type of love you have to accept. Your love language is your love language. Don't let anybody try to make you come out of that. As long as your love language is not built off trauma, which you will have to evaluate, then don't change your love language if it's genuinely your love language. And if a person, a family, whoever, if y'all love languages aren't the same and they cannot understand your love language, then it's okay to release and move forward. The next is going to be substance abuse. If you have to be high every single day to function, you're running from yourself. And no matter how much you run from yourself, you cannot outrun yourself. No matter where you turn, you will be there. And this is speaking from experience. One day you're going to have to face yourself. Better now than later. And if you don't face yourself, you're going to be in a constant state of anxiety, fight or flight. What else I write down? And you'll be like that for the rest of your life as long as you run from yourself. And one of the two, you got to pick your heart. Control your emotions or they will control you in one or two ways. if you have hygiene issues, like problems with getting musty quickly and things of that nature, it's your gut, and you need to clean out your gut and you need to detox. That's where that comes from. Now, a natural tea to detox with, I'll give y'all that information: licorice root, buckthorn, and Cascara sagrada, I believe it's called. Cascara sagrada. Those three, it does not taste good, but it will clean out your gut, and you need to detox and clean out your gut if you get musty easily, because, yeah, and it happens, just do what you got to do. Everybody wasn't taught about hygiene. A lot of us have to teach ourselves, so teaching you what I learned. And if y'all want more, let me know, because I'm going to post it anyway, so you might as well come back and see it, because I got plenty of life lessons that, again, I'd rather give away for free so that other people don't have to learn the hard way, because I had to learn everything the hard way, and I don't want y'all to have to do that. And I will use this comment as part 2. So I got my handy dandy notebook, and I wrote some more down. So things I wish I would have knew in my 20s that I'm telling y'all, so y'all don't have to learn the hard way like me. Any seeds that you plant in your 20s will manifest in your 30s. So any good things, self-discipline, self-love, putting yourself first, all those things that you do in your 20s, they will manifest in your 30s, whether it be good or bad. Somebody asked about finances. I'll say this: don't mess up your credit. Get in the habit of paying your bills and paying them on time, because if you don't, you will pay for it later. Another person in the comments asked to go a little deeper about evaluating relationships. Every 6 months, evaluate your relationships and ask yourself, is this relationship hindering me, or is it participating in my growth? Is this relationship hindering that person, or is it participating in their growth? Because relationships are two ways. It's not just about you. And that's a mistake that I made in my past. Now let's talk about friends. If you are not making the right choices, you are going down the wrong path, and you have friends that do not say anything about it to you, baby, them not your friends, and they don't want to see you do well. Or they're extremely passive, and you don't need extremely passive friends in your life either, because they turn quick. Next, if you feel like somebody wronged you, right? Don't put energy into trying to be successful just to prove that person wrong, or just to prove those people wrong, because guess what? Even when you be successful and it's an attempt to prove somebody wrong, they still gonna hope you fail. They still gonna hope that. So you don't have to try and prove them wrong, baby. Just do your thing. You knew you was at. Just do your thing. When people hurt you, whether it's intentional or non-intentional, and you're gonna hurt people too, it's a part of life. Take that pain and apply it towards a goal. That you will be gold up and gold out. Don't get all emotional, and you face your emotions and you deal with them and you recognize them and you say, hey, yeah, this is how I feel right now, but I'm gonna move forward from this, and I'm gonna apply it to a goal, and apply that pain to a goal. You can never go wrong with that. Apply that pain into yourself and building yourself and making sure that shit don't never happen again. You shouldn't act like a man. You should think like one. And when I say think like one, that means putting your mind above your heart and doing what's best for you. When it comes to relationships with men, put your mind over your heart. Make logical decisions in relationships. We're going to go to the hygiene. So, exfoliating gloves. Exfoliate your body multiple times a week. It's going to help. It's going to get that lymphatic system moving. This is things that I'm learning. Y'all about to see me go through my journey. But yeah, them exfoliating gloves. This is one that I'm excited to touch on. So when people say that you attract yourself in others, it is true, but not in the sense that people make it to be. So I'll break it down like this. You attract what you are in people. So if you attract a cheater, do you cheat yourself? You attract someone that disrespects you. Do you disrespect yourself? You attract the liar. Do you lie to yourself? Do you say you're going to do something and then you don't do it? Are you honest with yourself? You attract somebody that betray you. Do you betray yourself? The answer is typically yes. And you can't control, and you can say, okay, I would never do that to myself. You can't control the extent that somebody else betrays you to. You betraying yourself already. So you attracted somebody else that will betray you. That's how the law of attraction works. You attract the relationship that you have with yourself. Self-love is so much more than getting cute. That is not even in the top 10 of self-love. And I used to think that bad in my 20s. I look cute. I do my hair, my nails done. That's self-love. I love myself. That's not just self-love, baby. Self-love go from the inside out, not the outside in, baby. Not the outside in. Inside out. Work on that eternal first, and that's going to breed the rest. A man with no ambition telling you that he going to get you pregnant is not a compliment. It's a threat, and it should be taken as such. Brush your teeth not only with toothpaste, but use coconut oil as well. You can get it right at Kroger, at Sprouts, at Whole Foods, at Walmart. Coconut oil and oil pool with that same coconut oil to keep your teeth healthy. After you get that child pair of teeth, after that one is gone, that second set is the only one you're going to have for the rest of your life. Take care of them. And y'all know I'm down for part 3. I'll most definitely be posting many parts and taking y'all on my journey as I clean up my life. I've been on my journey for the past 2 years. Just on a healing journey, you know, getting it right. And I want to take y'all down that path with me so y'all could just learn from me instead of having to make the mistakes that I made. After you go through so much and you have so much wisdom, you recognize quickly that it is not just for you. The wisdom that I've acquired, it's not just for me. So, yeah, I'm going to do my job and share it.
This is for the girlies 18 to 23. I'm 23 now, and I just feel like there's some real tangible lessons that I needed to learn, and that I did learn now being 23, that I'm finally understanding the lesson of the things that I had to go through, of the circumstances that I had to experience back then. I'm understanding the lesson from it, and I feel like, I don't know, y'all could maybe take something away from this. So my biggest advice for 18 to 21 at least is don't date. Like, don't date anybody. I wish I did that. I had a boyfriend right out of high school going into college, which was absolutely toxic as hell. It was the worst. And it really hindered my growth in a lot of areas. Because another thing, and if you are someone who's dating right now, you're 18, 21, do not allow that relationship to hinder your growth. Do not sit here and be with someone and continue to be with someone just because y'all been through a lot together. Like, that's dead. Because honestly, if anything, the guys just get worse. Like, they don't ever get way better. Like, they don't just mentally boss up, like, randomly. Not really, you know what I mean? So let's take 18 to 21 to focus on ourselves. And I wish that's what I did. I wish I dedicated more of my life from like 18 to 21 to focusing on myself. And you need to get comfortable building habits. You have to get into the habit of building habits. It takes 21 days to build a habit. I guess this is like 2, my second piece of advice is like, get comfortable building habits. Become someone who is disciplined. Discipline is the highest form of self-love. And as I'm 23, 24, you know, I see 23, 24-year-olds, they don't even have discipline. They're not disciplined at all. Like, they be sleeping into the afternoon, and it's like, that's great, but if you're someone like me who wants success and you're trying to chase success, and you're someone who like me who's very ambitious, you gotta hone in on your life. You have to understand and wake up one day that like mommy and daddy is not gonna be there forever to guide you through every step of your life. You have to be responsible. You have to realize that you are the one who's responsible for your destiny. You know, like it really does. It's like a shell shock effect, you know, going from all of this school and then college if you went into being thrown out into the real world. And it's like, oh shit, like, okay, I'm the one who's responsible for finding community to be a part of. I'm the one who has to find friends to hang out with and build relationships, because they're not just given to you. Like, relationships are not given to anyone in the real world. And that's what I wish they would stress more in school and when we're around all these people, because it's like being in school, you're around community from 18 to like 23 if you're in school and you go to college. Like, you are around community and you're around people who are just like you, and you get spit out into the real world. And that's when a lot of people crumble, because then they realize that like, oh shit, I'm responsible for my life. Like, it all relies and depends on me. And step 3 is to become very self-sufficient with yourself. You have to be responsible for your own happiness, and you cannot let anyone else's, like, you cannot put your happiness onto someone else. Like, you cannot make that someone else's responsibility, because you will never be happy. You have to get content with the fact that the happiness is acceptance. To be happy in life is to accept your life for what it is, right? So if you're someone who's 18, 23 right now and you're not happy, look at what you're not accepting about your life, and then accept that, and learn to live in that, and live from that position of accepting the life that you're in. Because for a long time, from 18 to 22, even like recently, I just wasn't accepting my life for what it is, because I was always thinking into the future, like, oh, I want more, I want more, I want more. But I have everything that I've always wanted right now in this present moment. And then I realized, like, okay, my happiness is dependent on me. It's not dependent on my boyfriend. It's not dependent on my mom, my dad, my friends, my family. Like, no, my happiness in my life, my income, everything that I got going on is dependent on me. And so I had to start to become more disciplined in my everyday life. And I'm 23, just now becoming more disciplined in my life. You know what I mean? But if you're someone who's 18 to 22, 18, 21 even, start becoming disciplined. Discipline is the highest form of self-love. Every successful person on the planet has mastered the art of discipline, because they know the results that discipline can bring someone. You're mad young. Like, we're all mad young. Challenge yourself in ways that bring growth and expansion into your life. Challenge yourself to see how long you can go to the gym. Challenge yourself to see how long you can read a book. Challenge yourself to see how long you can meditate. Like, you got to challenge yourself in healthy ass ways in order to have that growth and expansion and abundance in your life that you're seeking, if you're someone who's seeking that. I think I'm on 4 or 5. Either one, learn how to do your makeup. I'm 23 right now, just learned how to do my makeup, like, actually bomb as fuck. And it's changed my life. It's made me more confident. It's made me feel very self-sufficient. Like, I got tired of paying people to do my makeup for special events. Like, you got to plan out an extra 2-hour block to go get your makeup done before. And you got to either pick, am I going to go to the makeup thing dressed, or am I going to come back home and get dressed? Like, it's just too much. Learn how to do your makeup so you can do it and go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not cute to be the girl at the pregame. Like, oh, can y'all do my makeup after they finish doing their makeup? No, I used to be that girl, and I'm not anymore. Why? Because I got my makeup bag in there and I'm about to beat the shit out my face. And I think I'm on 5, maybe 5 or 6. I don't know. If you are someone who has a boyfriend right now, it's okay. Trust me, because I have a boyfriend right now. Like, I have a boyfriend right now, but the only reason why I have a boyfriend is because the relationship does not consume me and it's not toxic. You need to, if you're going to be in a relationship with someone during this point in time of your life, I really think that you should be with someone who provides growth and expansion, who gives you the freedom to be who you are, and gives you the grace to bloom and blossom and to transform into someone new. So it's like, if you're with someone who only likes the version of you that they met that you were when they first met you, it's like, well, he got to go, because you're constantly growing and evolving. And if anyone doesn't like the fact that you're growing and evolving, if your partner doesn't like that, it makes them uncomfortable, it makes them feel threatened or jealous, they need to leave, because that means that they're not evolving and expanding on their own time. But they see you doing that. Don't hang around no one that's jealous. Don't let anyone, my boyfriend calls it a slippery slope. Don't let anyone ever do some weird shit around you, say some slick shit around you, and let it slide. Address it. Be confrontational. And confrontational doesn't mean, oh, I'm ready to fight. No. Confrontational means speaking how you're feeling in that moment. So tension and all this buildup, it doesn't build up inside you. It doesn't build resentment. You speak how you feel. You live your truth in that moment. And then however it needs to be addressed is going to get addressed. Period. Point blank. Live your best life, though. You're still mad young. You can do whatever you want. The world is yours. You just have to be disciplined. Become disciplined 1,010%. Become educated 1,010%. A lot of things are free now. The internet is free. Google is free. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Learn a skill. Just become the best version of yourself, but don't lose yourself in the process. And find your circle. Find your circle. Find your tribe. Get to know yourself. Get to know who you are, what you like, what you don't like. And then live your best life. It's not that hard. It just takes a lot of hard work and dedication and introspection. And that's where a lot of people go wrong, because you don't want to be someone who's 30, 35, 40 going through a midlife crisis. I'm a big believer. And I think people go through midlife crisis simply because they don't know who they are. And they find themselves in the position that they never thought they'd be at in life, because they didn't chase their dreams. They didn't go after anything. And they just remain stuck and stagnant. And then they're 50, like, oh my God, who am I? Don't be that girl. Don't be 50 looking in the mirror like, oh my God, I don't even recognize myself. No, you need to be 50 like, yeah, I knew I was going to be here because I put in that work when I was 18 through 23. And I got what I said I wanted out of life. I'm sorry, y'all, this video is mad long, but I was just rewatching it and I forgot to mention the gym. I'm now 23, like I said, and I'm just now consistently going to the gym, but it's absolutely changed my life. It's made me more confident, and it's just made me feel like I can trust myself more, because when I say I'm going to go to the gym, I go to the gym. I go to the gym every single goddamn day, and it took me 4 years of taking before pictures with no after pictures to finally get results in the gym and be like, no, I'm actually gonna go consistently, because I need this for myself. I want to look like a certain way, and I'm gonna get it for myself. Because as you get older, you realize that the world is extremely shallow, and regardless of how your heart is and how you treat people, the world is not the same. People treat you differently based off how you look. So prioritize your health, not to just be treated a certain way in society, but because it's important to you. Your health is important to you. There's someone out there who wishes they could get their ass up and go to the gym, but they can't because they're in a hospital bed, because they're sick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to take the small things in life and the small privileges you have in life. You cannot take them for granted, ever. So hopefully that helps y'all. Love you.